We're not talking about that. We're talking about something else here. Div 6 playoffs. And we're not doing auto cam because we're not wusses. This is a best of 9 or first to 5. Legato technically coming in as the higher seed. They're 5-0. Outcast Ninjas tied with Blue Moon at 4-1 in their group. Blue Moon getting the head-to-head tiebreaker going into their favor. Two strong teams, and you're gonna realize something. You're gonna realize Legato is pretty good compared to Div 6 teams. There's one thing I want to point out. Divs came out on November the 13th. And yes, I was a part of the seeding council. So if anybody still wants to complain about something that happened on November 13th, go right ahead. I don't care. But that was almost 2 months ago. Who these teams are today is completely different from where they were and who they were 2 months ago. I seeded you? Okay, look, I didn't seed anybody. Well, I mean, I did, but you're not... Just because you got a div doesn't mean that was the div I personally gave you. It was the one Emil signed off of, who's in chat. Blame him. Regardless, game 1, Splat Zones, Piranha Pit. And thank you for the raid, Splatoon at Purdue. Can we get a score update from ITAP versus Cold Coral? People were talking about Div 4, but regardless, we're moving on. K-Gal coming out from the side of the Ninjas as well as a VDS Splash. So, not a lot of range coming out from the side of the Ninjas, but Gray on the Nautilus being the longest range weapon in here in the game for Legato. Gray instantly getting swarmed by Blue on the Splash-O-Matic. A couple of teammates working around that left side, getting some attacking. Taking down a couple of Legato players. Should be able to get the sweep right there. Can't cap this zone just yet, and finally they do. Not a bad opening for the Ninjas. Again, I'm considering them the underdogs in this scenario. And when you're the underdog, you're the team that's supposed to lose. You don't really have anything to lose, right? So you can play a little bit more loose. Play with a little bit less pressure. But Legato, smart team, established team, building up some missiles. Waiting for those specials to come out online here. Blurry going in and getting rewarded with a quick pick on Joe Ryan, who I believe that is how that is pronounced. As the last player left alive is Nathan here on the K-Gal, backing up and saying, peace. It's so hard to put legit points on the map here. Just because you sneeze on either one of those zones and everything just comes to a grinding halt. We see Gipu just kind of sharking around here. Not to be confused with the Hydra Kipu on Offset Paradise. Learning a nice double right there. And make it a triple, okay. Nathan being the last player left alive. Again, this K-Gal player constantly in a situation where they can't really be effective because they're constantly getting swarmed with the rest of the teammates going down. If they can build up a Booyah, go in there with some missiles from that VDS, go in there together. But again, Nathan often to take around this left side by themselves. Jarian building up some armor to go with, popping armor. They do get a trade situation here. Capturing one zone, Booyah Bomb going on the outside zone, and they still can't capture it. Finally, they do put in a ton of penalty points on the side of Legato. As two more players from the musical team goes down, as well as the Ninjas trying to get established here. Getting control of zone is good, but they need to get a wipe. They need to like completely force Legato out if they want to get some serious points up on the board. And it looks like they are able to, well, at least establish control of mid. Not much else. At the time being, Gray working around this right side with Kipu, the Tri-Slosher, going in, gets a pick on the Splash-O-Matic. Gray opting not to go in there, instead focus on getting control of zone, and they do flip it into their favor. And this is a monstrously, again, on this map, I can't stress this enough, this is a huge lead they have right here. Because that 24 penalty points the Ninjas have to deal with is massive. And then another, like, what? 30 some odd points they got to chew through on top of that. That's a long time you got to hold on to that zone. It is going to be difficult to do, but Kipper being the last player left alive, that is a delayed wipe. Gray being the last one alive, so now we see the Ninja starting to heat up again. A strong opening. Now they get a light. Now they can do some damage. But we have seen Legato get out of this before. They built up the missiles. They waited for the specials. Nobody got picked. They seem to be doing that just now. The Ninjas gotten rid of all their penalty points. Minute 30 left to go. Still plenty of time. Inkjet coming out here. They do take down Kipu. Joe Ryan backing off. That is your painting player. I guess actually all 4 players on the Ninjas can paint for themselves. A very paint-heavy comp here, but the Splash-O-Matic goes down. Actually gets a trade. 2 players going down on the side of Legato. Oh, but Gray's. Oh, but Gray goes down themselves. Gray did a very good job of sniffing that jump, getting a double. Blue staying alive. Gets taken down. That's going to flip the zone back into the favor of Legato. That was clutch. Very nice play, and maybe an ill-advised jump on the side of Ninjas, but Gray punished it exactly. You know, when it comes down to games like this, it's who makes the least amount of mistakes and who punishes the mistakes the most the other team made. The Ninjas punished them, or Legato punished the mistakes right there. Legato, maybe they're realizing, hey, we don't need to do a lot here. We just need to hold the lead that we have. Let's build up some specials and jump back. But 2 players on Legato didn't get the memo. They go down. Slayer in a 1v1 with the K-Gal. Nathan moving away. And now the rest of the Ninja players in mid. But the zone's kind of stalled out for each side here. Slayer kind of working around this left side, trying to take care of a player. Blue ultimately gets the splash right there, trying to take down Blurry. Blurry staying alive. And now the VDS player working back here. Good. It's a nice pick on Gray, the Nautilus player. But a triple! Oh no, the suction bomb ruins everything for the Ninjas. Legato takes game 1. Ouch! Oh no! There was something brewing there. There was something brewing there for the Ninjas, but then all of a sudden you just kind of lose track of one little suction bomb. And so, I believe that suction bomb came from Slayer. So going from 6KA to 9 off of 1 play, you can go back and check the VOD yourself. But still, game 1. And that's what you like to see. A nice back and forth effort there. A competitive match. The Ninjas coming out throwing a lot of punches early. Legato doing enough to come back there, making some smart plays. Well, let me just top-down player cam, objective cam, ZL and R. Let's try to rotate that sucker in there every now. Let's see what that looks like. But still, nice, a nice back and forth from both teams, honestly. And the Ninjas definitely had their moments there. See if they can come back and even up this one at 1 apiece. You don't want to go down 0-2, even though it's a best of 9. It's a long set. Rainmaker, Manta Maria. One of the few good Rainmaker maps that you have. Probably only like 5 or 6. For low ink, we only use 6 Rainmaker maps. We only do 5 at a time, and we just rotate 1 in and out every single month to make it, to give the illusion that there's a lot of Rainmaker maps. There's not. There's only 5. There's only 6 good ones, and this is one of them. Players taking the time to ready up here. I wonder if the Ninjas, I mean, it's very 2022, the comp they had right there. Very aggressive, paint heavy. I wonder if they switch it up for something like Rainmaker. I don't think you do. I think you just keep kind of the aggression. I think you keep the paint. I think you keep the speed. But for Gray, I mean, if you're Gray on Legato, if you just stick to that Nautilus, you just kind of keep your distance from all these guys, you should be fine. But it's hard to kind of keep that distance away from people when you, and we're going with the Kinsa machine over the Tri-Slosher. Hard to keep your distance when you want to, when it's so easy for the other team to close the gap, like that Tetris that they're bringing out. Nathan's dropping the K-Gal, going with the Sploosh 7. So, 1/2 of the Trident, the Australian special, coming out here for Rainmaker as one player goes down from the side of Legato. Nathan working around the bunker area. Shins trying to take a 1v1 with Gray. And like I said, Gray just kind of keep the distance. The Tetra player did close the gap, but just couldn't really connect on those shots. Just couldn't really aim with the schmoovin they were doing with the Rainmaker going around that right side there, around the cut. Blurry able to kind of shut it down before any kind of damage gets done there. And 2 players on the side of the ninjas. Yeah, no way. Bless your heart, you're not going to survive that. Try to just kind of blend in. Oh, I hope they don't notice me. And all of a sudden the K shot and the Rainmaker explosion go off in your face there. There's the Rainmaker. Slayer has it with the zap, so no armor on this push. So be it. Kipu kind of working up there, does have a splashdown ready. They're just waiting for the right opportunity to take it around that right side. They do get lead barely, but on who cares? Kipu's way up there, getting the splash when the Tetris goes down themselves, scraping the last player left alive, gets a few more points. Not really something you're going to be too crazy thrilled about with 3:30 left to go. But still, a nice opening regardless for Legato. But 1 player going down, that's Kipu. Make that 2. Blurry going down. Nathan starting to push up with this sploosh. Can they pop this Rainmaker? They have a little bit of a path. Nathan not picking it up. Instead, the Tetris does and jumps up in the air, gets a more of a lead, a more comfortable lead as we hop back into the action. Joe Ryan with a little flare, just trying to dodge some shots and lands it. And that's a legit lead right there as his pop gun fumbles away. Okay, yeah, let's hit this button more often. That gives us a better view. Still, that is a good push. That's a much more comfortable push for the Outcast Ninjas and a lead you can feel good about. The problem is the game's not even halfway done yet, and a bad 10 seconds this game is over for either side. But still, the Ninjas, the team who lost Game 1, has a solid lead here in Game 2, halfway through. Kipu sharking up here, does have a splashdown to work with. A lot of specials online for the side of Outcast Ninjas as well. Just kind of take a look at mid here. Actually, I think all 8 players had their specials online. A lot from the Legato starting to get fired right here. A splashdown up top there is just really not accomplishing a lot, but it is pushing the Ninja players back, except for the ones around this right side. Trying to avoid the Inkjet being the last player left alive. Does take down the Rainmaker. Isn't going to survive even though they have Drop Roller on their Inkjet right there. And the control of mid completely into the favor of the Ninjas. 1:45 left to go now. As they're not really... They're realizing, okay, if we want to win this game, we might not be able to KO them, but we need to keep the Rainmaker A, on their side of the map, and B, we need to get control of mid. And we need to establish control, and we can't get wiped here. And you see them doing just that. They're popping the Rainmaker. They're making sure they have control mid. They're waiting for Legato to make the mistake. And they're letting Legato bleed the clock out. Not a lot of splats on the side of Legato. Right now, the player clearly standing head and shoulders above everybody else here is Blue on this the K shot as my body's exploding here. Tetra players going down here. Blue trying to get a nice pick on that right side instead of the rest of the Outcast Ninja teammates clean that up. Sneaky taking care of the Rainmaker and getting a more control of mid. That Inkjet isn't really going to accomplish a whole lot, even though just because the rest of the teammates are alive. And look at the swarming of the Ninjas all over this. Last player left alive coming around this right side. The Ninjas doing a very good job of bleeding time off the clock now. Picking up the Rainmaker, starting to be aggressive with it, put it onto the enemy side of the map. And even though they don't get to their add to their lead, it doesn't really matter. Again, they're making it more difficult for the other team to get the lead back. Goodbye. "25 seconds left to go here. Nathan, you can't cancel that with a sploosh. Good effort, though. It looks like Legato's going to get one more opportunity to try to make something happen here. Blurry popping some missiles to work with. They do recognize that there is this one player left on this left side. Opting to take a 1v1. Joe Ryan goes down. So now Slayer with the Rainmaker. And they have a long way to go. They have to land down in that pit. In the Tetra players just going in. I like that play. Even though they didn't get the splat, I like that decision to try to go in with your Tetras because you're just going to come right back anyways. Slayer just trying to survive. Waiting for the rest of Legato to jump back in there. Blurry taking a little bit of a fight up in the bunker. But more time just ticking off. How much time do they have left? 30. Okay, so they got plenty of time to work with. They can stall right here. But eventually you got to make something happen. Nathan trying to get something. 2-player. Okay, now they're going to go. 2 players down for the Ninjas, and they're in a good position. Here comes a splashdown from Kipu, and that creates enough confusion. Are they going to find a way to get lead off of this? They will. The patience, the moxie. Oh, and the splashdown from Kipu causing just enough of the distraction, taking care of one player and forcing the other one out of position just long enough. Legato doing everything right in that last play. And it's not to say the Ninjas didn't. I felt like the Ninjas made the right plays right there. It's just maybe they didn't have a special that they could use to work with to maybe get that last splat. It seemed like the only thing they could do was just get it straight up. No like Stingray. I mean, all they had to work with was like Splashdown, a Booyah Bomb, which they only threw 2 Booyah Bombs out the entire game. The Hammer, which... Yeah, I mean, the hammer's not really going to do a whole lot defensively. I mean, there are things you can do with it defensively, but my point is, there wasn't really a lot that the Ninjas could do right there with the kits that they had to stop that push. And Legato able to just kind of wait them all out, get into the right position. Obviously, they got a double, and I didn't see what it was. I think it was off on the street. They were able to get that double there to kind of open up that game. And then when it just got into a 2v4 situation, Kipu just going in, landing a splashdown and saying, hey, this is where we're putting the Rainmaker to get the lead. And the patience from Legato kind of sealed that one there. So game 3, again, the Ninjas could have had both of these. You look at the final score of some of these matches at the end of the day, and you're like, oh, it's 5-1, 5-0. That was just a butt whooping. That wasn't even close. No, you go back and you look at these and you see, oh, wow, this could very well be 2-0 right now in the favor of the Ninjas. Like, it could go either way here. But currently, Legato wins the first 2. 3 more, and they're moving on to semis. Outcast Ninjas have to win 5 of the next 7 if they want to find their way to keep their LUTI hopes going. Rotating back to the original comp that they have are the Ninjas in game 1. Bring back that K-shot, Ink Recovery K-shot, and Ink Saver main on that K-shot from Nathan there. So, going to be a paint-heavy version, I'm assuming. It's more like a supportive K-shot. It's working out right here. 2 players going down from the side of Legato. Gray and Slayer. Gray opting to drop the Nautilus, going with the foil squeezer. Gets a headache running into a little bit of a bomb there. And once again, who's the team coming out with the better openings? In all 3 games, it's been the Ninjas, and it's working out right here as they get... That's the wrong basket. Shoot. Why does it do that? Regardless, big opening push. 2 more players. They can keep this push going. 2 players down on the side of Legato. Nathan trying to get some clams here. It's the last player left alive with clams and is backing off. So that's going to end the push, but still damage done. Legato in a big hole here early. 23 points remaining in the first minute for the Outcast Ninjas, but Legato's literally been in this situation all set long, and they found a way to get wins here. A little bit of a bigger hole they got to overcome this time here. Slayer able to get very nice fall-off kill with the in-zap on blue. Starting to push some of these Ninja players back. Does have some armor to work with. They do have bubbles as well on Gray, who has holding 5 clams. The missiles coming out here, I mean... Yeah, I mean, it just kind of at least locates the players. You saw Legato didn't really care about those missiles. They didn't go anywhere, so it's... But at least kind of located them for the rest of the Ninja players. Basket does pop. Slayer wisely. You see what they did there? They threw that clam because they didn't want to make a power clam to reveal their location, but then stalled real... Oh, wait, I'm the last player left alive. So let's not make a power clam just yet. Let's just be a little bit patient. Let's hold bridge. Let's take a fight. So nice little heads-up play there by Slayer. But still, massive lead into the favor of the Ninjas. We see a floppy fish coming out there, just trying to escape from the enemy ink here. Player that was on Tetra's last game now opting to go with CDS and BDS. So we got We got a bit of a dually main here. I believe used VDS in game 1 as well. So you don't really see a lot of dually action going on, so it's cool to see that. A master of the dually arts. Armor. Actually, this is a double armor comp, I just realized. I thought that armor came from the Inzap, but it came from the Tri-Slosher. So double armor getting popped here from Legato, and it's not going to amount to anything, at least initially. And they do have enough to make a clam here, is Legato. You see Blurry lurking around this left side, gets taken down by Blue, who's going to camp that jump as well. And I think actually got a triple there. The last player left alive is going to score. I don't agree with that. Because it was your last player left alive, there's nothing else you can do. You're just giving another Mercy Clam, and... Oh, you saw that. These suction bombs. These suction bombs have been, honestly, been making a big difference against the Outcast Ninjas. And look at this. Look at all these clams they got right here. That's the wrong one. How do we get this? There we go. Okay, so it's the kind of basket here. They got a lot of power clamps. You're the team that's up. And... a lot of just kind of revealing to the other team. If they can get a wipe here against Legato, they'll win the game. But Legato, with a minute 30 to work with right here, a lot of specials on their own. And Gray finally desperately gets a pick. This is the third pick of the game. Bubbles coming out here is going to body block the way for them to pop this basket. Gets taken down, though. That's critical because they had a man advantage against the Ninja. Staying alive in those bubbles. Now getting another splat as these Ninja players are a little bit discombobulated. Can they get the lead right here? The jump's coming in for the back door. They sneak around the car and get it in. Lead going back to Legato. Can the Ninjas find a way to come back right now? They got time to work with. But I thought for sure Blue was going to get that splat in time. Instead, no. The Outcast Ninja players couldn't get the splat. Legato jumps in, swerves behind the car, and gets it in and gets the lead. Now the Legato needs to hold up and play defense. And they've been really struggling to get to the same splats they were earlier right here. Nathan in the bridge. One player going down from the side of Legato, working around, coming back towards the left side here, picking up some clams that they could work with. And let's see if we can get the right basket. We do. Ryan, oh, they missed the throw. The second one goes in. If they get the throw, it still wouldn't have been enough to get lead. If Blue can get the splat right there, Nathan being the last one left alive, is going to try to get in there in time. It won't. I want to point something out. Even if they got that throw in, they missed that first throw. Even if they got it in, it wouldn't have been enough. So you can't say, oh, if we got that in, we would have won. No, they needed more on top of that. It definitely would have helped. But they needed a lot more out of that. This is a really close. The scoreboard says Legato's up 3-0. Look, guys, you're seeing the same thing I am, right? The Ninjas are hanging with them. The Ninjas are really close to being up 3-0 on this one. And it's a tall task to come back from now. It's best of 9. So Legato needs to win 2 more. The Ninjas need to win 5 more. The Ninjas have to win 5 of the next 6. They're capable of doing it, but coming back from those kind of losses mentally is tough. It's tough to come back from that mentally because they've had huge leads in the past 2 games. They came out aggressive in game 1. They got a satisfying lead in game 2. They got a huge opening push in game 3. Legato's just been more clutch. And you know, it's hard. It's different. Obviously, it's different when you're playing from behind, right? When you're playing from when you're the team that has to make plays to win versus the team that's like, how do we make plays to hold on to this win? It's a different kind of pressure. It's almost really, I don't know. Like, there's some people that are probably more comfortable playing from behind than having a lead and just being like, okay, what are we going to do to screw this up right now? It just seems like the Ninjas, maybe they're not being aggressive enough with the lead that they got. Like, they're not going for the KOs. They're not going for the knockout. But they've been playing fine. Like, on the defensive end, they've been doing just fine. It just hasn't been good enough to get to lock out the win in the end there. Again, that player jumped in for the car, just sweeped around the right side, got the Rainmaker or the Clam Blitz in. It's the little things. It's the little things. Gray going back to the Nautilus. Nathan going back to the K-Gal. We're right back where we started. Tri-Slosher's going to work out really well here, as well as Gray's the Foil Squeezer wasn't really working out. I'm not going to lie. The Foil Squeezer works out good on that map, but it just wasn't working out for Gray. The Nautilus is going to be a little bit better. And are we really surprised at how this is starting off? I mean, this is just... we've seen this story before. Ninjas come out, they're the more aggressive team. Blue getting a quad. Make that 5 splats in the first 30 seconds. This player is on pace to get 50 KA in this game. That is... It's not going to happen, but they're on pace for it, I think. 5 in the first 30 seconds. And I've been really impressed. Honestly, this Blue, the Outcast Ninjas, I've been really impressed with this player. Getting more splats, but their last player left alive. Not much you can do right there. But still, a huge opening push. Getting down to 32 remaining is Legato. Or is the Ninjas. Yeah, they need somebody to step up right here. They got armor to work with. Blue gets taken down, but the K-shot on the other side. Oh, all 3 players get taken down. Nathan just, what do I do with this thing now? I guess I'll just chuck it here. So that kind of sucks. They're not going to have a Booyah Bomb to go with. Blue just went in right there. Gets taken down as well. There must be somebody kind of ledge camping here. Kipu doing a good job holding this left side. More players going down, and now you can see it. You can see it starting to take a toll. The last 2 losses clearly kind of taking a toll right here. But 2 players going down for Legato. Can the Ninjas find a way to just keep this going? They got the paint on the zone to do that. Okay, there we go. I was about to say, there was a lot of feeding going on right there. No, I mean, the last time we saw the Ninjas in Splat Zone, when they didn't have zone, they're like, okay, let's take the time. Let's build up some specials. Let's work with right here. You saw a lot of people just kind of going in, trying to make something happen, and that's just kind of tournament stress. That's just kind of pressure that you see just kind of sinking in right now. But now you see them getting control of zone. 2 players down on the side of Legato. All you need is just to get a wipe, and then you get your VC hype again, and you get somebody just like, all right, let's just focus, and then everybody just resets, right? Like, we all know who that person is on your team that gets everybody mentally set. Whoever that is for the Ninjas needs to kind of take control of this VC right now. 15 ticks away from getting rid of their penalty points. Ninjas can get the lead right back here. Gray on this Inkjet trying to get a pick. They do have Ink Armor to work with. Tender Missiles as well should force the Ninja players out of zone. Takes down Joe Ryan. Now going to go in with themselves. 2 players on that right stack, just kind of firing up there to keep some pressure on. And man, all those penalty points, like, that was a huge push from Legato, but at the end of the day, all they really took off was like 18 penalty points. It sucks when you have so many penalty points. If you don't put actual points on the board, it's like the push didn't even happen. But still, death by paper cuts. Blue working around this left side. Pretty sure this player's aware. Armor coming out. Slayer gets taken down. And now you got a little bit of a pincher situation here. Booyah coming from in front. Suction Bomb coming from behind zone, going into the favor of the Ninjas. Kipu able to get a nice trade with the help of Gray there. Trying to take down the VDS player who's stuck in this awkward pincered 1v1. Very nice pick here. Legato's playing like the smarter team right now. And again, it's easier to do that when you're up 3-0. You're staring down being up 4-0. It's kind of the advantage, winner's advantage there. You play a little bit more together. We're seeing a lot more group effort. And Gray, honestly, whenever we're respecting Gray, they're kind of working with somebody else, right? They're kind of shooting at players that are in fights along the opposite side. There's 2 more Ninja players going down, and that should do it unless somebody can make a hero play. 1 player gets taken down, and Nathan, once again being the last one alive, can't outpaint 3 other players. And Legato, I mean, 4-0 currently over Outcast Ninjas. A very competitive 4-0. But I think we're just starting to see pressure and stress starting to sink in.